We're back to the Total Education Celebrity Show, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment. TotalTutor.net for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook. And I'm really excited to welcome the program. This actor has been on some big shows. I'm talking, if I list them right here, and I'm going to talk about them specifically, he's up and coming, but also, in a lot of ways, he's a teacher too. And involved in, I guess he's a jack of all trades in acting. Someone welcome to the program, Dwayne Boyd. You were in Sleepy Hollow, Walking Dead, and Army Wives. Dwayne, thanks for calling, man.
Hey, no, thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here, and thanks for taking time for me today.
Absolutely. Let's go specifically, I guess, your whole life, did you want to be an actor? Was this something you wanted when you were a kid and stuff?
I think when I started out, I didn't realize how much I enjoyed the arts, and drama and acting. And I was a kid in the front yard that couldn't leave my front yard when I was younger, and I had to create my own enjoyment. So I would put a towel around my neck, and I was sitting there, and I would play football in the yard with a helmet on by myself. So I had to do a lot of things to keep myself entertained. And for me, that to me showed me that, you know what, hey, this is truly probably what I need to be doing for a living. So I remember those days clear, and I could play all day as a kid. So, I think that it's always been with me. I took some classes when I was in high school. I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and I took some classes there. And at the time, I didn't realize I could make a living at this. I knew that people were actors, but I didn't know how to get involved and what was the first necessary step to start.
It's quite interesting when you hear about these things. Dwayne, you say, okay, I'm going to try this. And then you do. And so when did you start? In high school, did you start going to acting classes or before that?
And I started in high school. It was, at the time I took a class, it was an easy grade. I said, I enjoy acting. It was an easy grade for me. But I look back, and that was truly the first seed planted as far as being a professional. And I always tell people, especially, when I talk to younger kids, they say they want to act. I said, well, you're taking it in your high school. They have drama class everywhere now. So that, to me, really kicked things off. And it just it made me want to further my studying as far as the class is concerned.
Absolutely. And then through there, you continued to study it. When do you think, so did you study it in college, or did you do you have a different major?
I went from high school. I went to the military for 7 years. I served in the Army for 7 years. I was a sergeant in infantry. I know, right? You just kind of went left with that. But I went to the service, and I can tell you that was a great experience. I got to see the world. I got to live overseas for a while in Germany. And it gave me the structure I needed, because I couldn't have went straight to college right after high school. I just was not mentally prepared for that. So I think being in the military taught me a lot, taught me how to be a little more disciplined. And I can honestly say, I think a lot of men, if they can, sign up and, try to, get at least a couple of years under your belt, because it taught me so much about being on my own, being a little more mature, about, my work ethic, business, and everything else. So after I did 7 years in the military, I got out of the military, and I started to, I ran a barbershop for a few years, because I didn't quite know what I wanted to. I knew I didn't want to go into corporate America, but I had the skills to do that, but I ended up running a barbershop and came back to acting.
Wow. It's quite interesting how that process begins and starts, isn't it? Really is.
Yeah. And everybody's got their own path, and you got to figure out, what the next move is for you, but everybody's got their own way of getting involved.
The roles you have been able to do in acting, a lot of ways, is from your background in the military. Do you feel that they're always looking for actors in that area? A lot of times, I have a good friend, Scott Levy, that does video game acting in L.A., and he tells me, and he was in the Devil's Cartel and some other ones, and he just told me, again, military guys, that's definitely something they're looking for in a lot of ways for different acting gigs.
Oh, most definitely. And I'll tell you this. A lot of times, for TV and film, they want honesty. They want people that really, really, really look the part, understand how important it is to mentor. It's a very real thing on the show, on the film. And I've even had a writer come to me on the set of Army Wives to tell me the reason we liked you for this part was because you didn't play a soldier as a soldier. You played him as a real person. And people tend to forget that, these people that join the military, and like myself, and people that are in law enforcement, they're still people first.
Yes.
So instead of trying to play a caricature of what this is, we need to make sure that we honor the person first, and they just happen to be doing these types of jobs. So anytime I played a cop or a military guy, whatever the case is, a soldier, I've always brought Dwayne first because I haven't had experience. A soldier is nothing but honestly a police officer for the world, and so I think a lot of times we've overplayed. I've seen these characters overplayed.
Yes.
But living that lifestyle would have been helpful.
So how did you get discovered? How did you go back and become an actor? After you said the Barbershop, you were in the military, you had acting experience, meaning background, meaning training,
right.
But what got you back into it?
I remember I got a bit depressed about the station I was in life, and I just was not happy. I was not happy at all. I was cutting hair, but I felt like I was living someone else's dream and not mine. And a good friend of mine, Chris Bryant, came to the barbershop. I was cutting his hair one day, and I told him, I said, "Hey, man, I'm feeling a little down about this lately. What do you think I should do?" He says, "Well, what are you down about?" I said, "I'm just tired of where I am." He said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I took a moment and said, "Acting." He said, "Well, then stop and do it." And I remember packing myself up, not knowing what the next step was, and tell everybody goodbye, and I set out to do this. So, I don't suggest everybody should, whatever it is you want to do, just stop doing it. You stop and start doing that. Of course, there's some steps. But there was a bit of a struggle at first, not knowing how to proceed and everything else. But I knew this was truly what I wanted to give a shot, and I felt like it was the smartest thing I've ever done.
Okay, so Dwayne, basically you go, and with not much acting experience, where did you go from there? Once you said, "I'm going to pack up and go," did you go straight?
Right. Well,
yeah.
I packed up and I went to another barbershop. I went to a barbershop where I didn't have to rent it. I went to a barbershop kind of like on a part-time basis, and that allowed me to have the freedom to go to auditions, go work on gigs, extra gigs, whatever I could do to just really immerse myself in the business. I started taking classes. I got headshots. I got an agent, and that kind of kicked everything off at that point.
And did it come quickly to get the opportunities? What would you say was your biggest break?
They started to come, very slow at first, and then it started to become a little more frequent. My first big break to me was a film I did called The Gospel back in 2005. So I started in 2001, basically 2001 is when I started and gave it a good try. And 2005 was my first big break. It was a feature film called The Gospel. It was a $3 million film that Sony had done. And good friends of mine, Will Packer and Rob Hardy, were producing director on that. They're doing great things now. I know Will does a lot of different things for Sony. He's done, I think, the last 5 films as a producer, been #1 at the box office. And Rob Hardy, who's the director on that show, he did a lot of TV for, CSI now, Vampire Diaries, whatever. But these guys really gave me a great opportunity to pursue this by giving me a shot in their first feature film, The Gospel. It was a movie starring Boris Kojo, Idris Elba, who's a huge star now. Idris is on everything now, and that movie for me was my breakthrough performance. I thought so. It got me a lot more opportunities because if you know acting, people have to see you in something and say, "Hey, this guy's done this. Let's try and bring him over."
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get any more auditions. You're not going to get any opportunities. People aren't going to consider you till you get into the one film that is your break. So you would say that was the break. Now, I listed, and I could say even more of some really big things you were in for our audience that's into the mainstream thing, the stuff that, when you watch TV, you say, "I know all about this show." So let's go. You kind of already mentioned Army Wives. What was your role in Army Wives? And it was a pretty reoccurring role, right? For sure?
Yeah. So on Army Wives, I got a chance to be a military captain. I was enlisted in the Army, so for me to play an officer was a little different, but it's still the same all, same type of understanding of the military background. And I played a captain on that show, Captain Throwback. I did 3 episodes of that show, and it was a great cast down there. At the time, it was one of a lifetime's highest rated shows, and just being on that set for me is really, really amazing because I got to see people that I've grown up watching on TV on different shows. I got to see them work, and to me, that was the first taste of what TV is like. TV is a much faster pace, too. TV moves so quick. You'll shoot, I don't know, maybe a whole episode in like 16, 18 days.
Exactly, yeah. So you went...
Film at a large scale.
Absolutely. So what would you say was your best experience in Army Wives? Who did you learn from the most in getting that opportunity?
Just watching. I think for me, just getting to work with the main cast of the show. I got to work with a young lady who plays Captain Bell. She plays still in the show. She plays Denise Sherwood. I got to work with her. I got to work with Roxy LeBlanc and Sally Preston. Her character's Roxy on the show. Probably Joy Tim Delaney and just the whole cast. I was in one scene where I got to be around the entire cast and just watching how each individual prepared and watching how the shots were set up and how you just had to be a professional. Everybody on the set was very professional. Very professional.
Okay, let's go to Sleepy Hollow, which is another very popular show. How many times did you end up in Sleepy Hollow?
Funny thing about Sleepy Hollow is when I got the call for it, which was truly blessed, and Lisa Kincannon, one of the Kincannon, the cast in the Southeast Seattle Wilmington, but I love working with them, and they do cast a lot of major things. And Sleepy Hollow was something that was a bit far-fetched at first. I will admit, I said, how's it going to do? And he's hit for Fox now, so I shot the pilot, and I got to meet Len Wiseman, and I got to work with him. He directed all the Underworld movies, and Underworld 1 through 4, I think there's 4 of them. So he directed quite a few of those. And I also got to work with the team from Star Trek, which is Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci, I believe his name is. And these guys were, I love Star Trek. I love their writing. I just thought their writing was incredible. And so when I got the opportunity to work on this project, I was excited because I'm a huge sci-fi fanatic. Anything dealing with sci-fi is mine.
Right.
So, so working on that big finale of the first pilot episode was amazing. And then I heard he got picked up, which was really exciting because, as you know, the show is set at a precinct in present day. So, Sleepy Hollow talks to this day and age. And the main character on the show, Nicole Bahar, it was amazing. And Orlando Jones and Tom Marchand, they were working at a police station on the show. So I play a cop on this show. So another opportunity to be a cop. And anytime you're a cop on a show that's about cops, you got so many opportunities to come back. So.
How many episodes were you involved with Sleepy Hollow?
Just right now, it's the first episode. I did the very first pilot episode, and if I'm not mistaken, that episode was the highest rated show for Fox in the past 6 years. It got 10 million viewers that night.
Oh, my. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very interesting. And then The Walking Dead, which I know my fans out there, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm on Facebook. These are fans that are all into whatever sport, and they're telling them, I'm not watching that. I'm watching The Walking Dead. So tell me about that experience.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? I think what they call the fans of the show, the deadheads, is what they call them?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. So that was amazing. I didn't watch much of the show until I got a chance to work on the show. And again, the bad thing about the show for me was I got this huge opportunity on the show, and I was getting killed the same episode. I was like, come on, But to be on that show, I did a scene where they the episodes where they introduced who the governor was, and he actually was revealed to be a nasty guy on the show, and we were the kind of bring into that, for him as far as developing who that character was. And David Morse, he's a great actor. He was very, very talented. Just to watch him work, and I've seen him in tons of other projects. But, that experience on Walking Dead, it moved pretty quick. The zombies, when I tell you, these zombies were really, really in person on that show, because we had to lunch, and I was eating lunch at the table with one of the zombies. I couldn't look down the way because it looked so nasty. That's how real the zombies look on that show. And, I just had a great time, and I regret not being able to do more episodes. I would love to get on that show for a longer amount of time.
Your problem is you're a cop or a military person. You have a good shot of being killed.
I'm always in the line of danger, right?
You're always in the line of danger, and there's always violence in these shows, and that's what happens. So we get back more at Dwayne Boyd, and we're going to learn about now, I guess, where his passion's leading him. If you Googled him and you checked out the different websites he has, you learn that specifically that he has a lot of passions involving the entertainment field and also some new projects. So we're going to find all about that. So we're with celebrity Dwayne Boyd from Sleepy Hollow, Walking Dead, and Army Wives, and you're listening to the Total Education Celebrity Show powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment. And we'll be back in just a moment. We're back to the Total Education Celebrity Show, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment. TotalTutor.net for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook. You also could go to BeachLifestyle.com to check out all my celebrity interviews, and SimplyG.com to find out more info on me as well. I guess I have a lot of the websites just like you, Dwayne, in certain ways. So you're talking about these roles, and you're a working actor. And this is a key thing I'll tell our listeners out there, that if you stay working, you're gonna make a living in this business. And that's what you've been able to do, staying the course since 2001 in acting. But during that time, you've become a veteran actor, an experienced actor, and you are involved in a lot of other things. Tell us a little bit of some of the other projects you're doing right now.
Right now, it's just amazing because I think I have 3 different recurring roles in different shows. And I just worked on a show here that's shooting called The Red Road. It's a show on the Sundance Channel starring Martin Henderson and Jason Momoa. It's set right, like I said, it's right here in Atlanta, but it's one of those type shows that I think that's going to do real well on the Sundance Channel. And I play Officer Bernard role on that show, and it's a great show. And I got 2 episodes so far. I think they're doing a 6-episode arc to see if they can, get a good follow and everything else. But it was a great opportunity working on that. And I just recently started working on a show in New York called Taxi Brooklyn South. It's a TV series that's airing over in France right now, but I believe they're also trying to bring it here and get it picked up for the United States.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
It's nice to be in recurring roles because you constantly are on the set then, right? Constantly working.
And I forgot to mention, I just worked on a show called Resurrection for ABC. It's a show Brad Pitt's company is producing, Plan B Productions. They're producing. And I play a cop on the show named Bobby Ronaldo, I think his name is. And I got to sit and work with a very talented actor. You guys may know him from... he was the dad on That 70s Show. You guys remember the character? He was the dad on That 70s Show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I got to work with him. And he told me one thing that's kind of stuck with me. He said, his name's Kurt Smith, by the way, but he said, I said, I'm always playing a cop, and, I get to play a cop part of it. He said, well, Dwayne, they'll always be working.
Exactly.
And that just stuck with me. I said, wow, he's right, because every show needs a cop. And it made me look at reevaluate how I even looked at being the cop, because I was like, I don't want to do something else, but hey, if I'm the cop, I'm the cop. I'm going to be the best cop in this market. So that's pretty amazing. I've been on this show once. I was slated to go back, but I ended up having a conflict with another shoot and couldn't go back to that episode.
Hey, you're working, Dwayne. That's the key thing. Yeah. And let me tell you, and I'm glad to hear this because I did have an actor on that I just brought him on because he played at Notre Dame and he was in the NFL, but he was also an actor. I can't remember his name, but he told me he makes more money than many of these stars because they have their one role for 1 year and then they're finished. And he constantly is working. Lots of actors, after their gig's over, they can't find work. And people think you get rich as an actor, and you don't, do you?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. See, and the thing is, it seems like he's under the radar, which is a good thing because he can slide in on many different projects, many different shows, and continue to work. You're right. Once the person gets typecast as one type of character on the show, it's hard for them to go find work because so many people see them as that person. Or they say, well, hey, we don't want that type of this, or we don't want people to associate that show with this show. So it's really hard to maneuver back and forth once you made such a great mark in one show, one opportunity, which is still a great opportunity because I would love to be a series regular for 6 years on the show. But, of course, the creative side of me want to do something different after a while, and it tends to be hard to find work once you've done a character so well for so long, which is a curse and a blessing in a sense.
Exactly. Still known for the same thing 10, 15 years ago, and it might have not made you any money at all. It's amazing to look at the athletes, Dwayne, and before they were paying them a lot of money, they had to have other careers after this, but you are doing something you're passionate about, what you love, and I think that's the key part of this. And playing a cop, you never know there could be a movie about cops, and you're playing that starring role. So just keep
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Keep persevering in those areas. So you're typecasting yourself in a good role, Army or cop. Maybe you got to look at the futuristic way too, Dwayne. How can you be involved in those futuristic stuff that's coming out? So there's definitely some more other possibilities. And check it out.
Well, I've already got an opportunity for that. So with Hunger Games, I was actually in the first Hunger Games. I was the main peacekeeper that got to bring Katniss's family into the room to see her push one off the fight, and I got to work on that set for a couple of weeks because I was in front of the Capitol, bringing the kids on stage. So another military type, cop type, just showed up, and it worked for years in the future. So who knows?
Awesome. And what else, I guess, Dwayne, in this process is that are you doing other things involving entertainment as well, not just all the acting? Tell us a little bit about that, yeah.
I have my own production company I started called 34th Nasty Productions, and I shot my first feature film that did really well, went to got distribution nationwide. It's a romantic comedy I wrote, produced, directed, starred in called 4 Minutes. I also have an acting class here called Premier Actors Network in Atlanta, where we help actors to prepare to work in this market, and we teach them the skills necessary to go out here and get an agent and start working on set somewhere. And I also have my own photography company that I started called Dwayne Boyd Photography, and we shoot quite a few actors here in the Southeast.
So you're a busy guy. If you're a full-time working actor, which you're telling me with the reoccurring roles, and you have all the other stuff, you must be very, very busy. A little different than the days of the barbershop, right?
Oh, it's funny because a couple of years ago I quit the barbershop. Like I said, I was still kind of part-time there, but it became a situation where the barbershop was now in the way.
Yeah.
The barbershop was in the way, so I think that was when I started to lose money because I was in the barbershop, I said, it's time for me to let the barbershop go. And sometimes we'll do things because it's a comfort zone thing for us instead of stepping out and stepping on their face and just having that faith that things are going to work out, and that's what I was able to do the last couple of years, so. Been great.
So with your production company and involving teaching actors and different things in the classes, what have you seen about these up and comers? Especially we're talking about Atlanta. We're not talking LA now. And we're talking off air about the importance of Atlanta and how Atlanta is really becoming a hotbed for acting and opportunities and things like that in different shows. These people that first come to you, what do you see from them? And do you see yourself when you were starting, in a way?
All the time, right? When people come in for the first time, because I remember, I tell them all the time, I started from exactly where you are. Not knowing anything about the business, not knowing how to get into the business, and just really not having an understanding of how much hard work goes into this and everything else. So, first of all, I try to educate them on how to be dedicated to what it is you're choosing to do, and how to present yourself always as a professional, even when you're first starting out. Because maybe you get an opportunity to set or get in front of a cast director or whatever the case is, you're going to be judged on how you behave and how you handle yourself. And a lot of times people just don't know. They come off as amateurs in this business, and you don't want that to be the thing that hinders you. So I always tell them, no matter what, always be on time, know your lines, you have lines, know your lines, do what you're told, but follow everything to a key. I teach my actors to be very detailed. Of course, study your craft and be as prepared as possible. But above all else, it's still a business. And conduct yourself as if you're going to a job interview or you're going to work somewhere. That's what it is.
So, Dwayne, would you say that through your military background that helps you teaching people in acting and saying, you know what, you got to have your headshots ready, guys. And also not just your headshots, you got to make sure that you show up on time, you call, you persevere through these different things, and you practice your lines over and over again like the military, right?
Everything I learned in the military, I'm applying now. Everything I learned, I tell you, structure, order, discipline, being on, like I said, just even the way I run my classes are very structured. And that's what people can appreciate. Again, I didn't realize when I was in the military how important those things were until now. In the military, we were taught that because, if you're in battle or in war, it's life or death. And you have to really be focused and listen and pay attention to detail and do what you're told. But out here, in an acting career, it's the same thing. This is the life and death of your career. So either you take this serious and do what you need to do, hunker down and get things moving, or you're going to miss opportunities.
Again, we're talking to Dwayne Boyd, actor, and much, much more. I call you an entrepreneur, Dwayne. Honestly, you are. With all the different things you have, you're definitely an entrepreneur, and that I love hanging out with entrepreneurs and hearing that you're able to make this your living. And that's you gotta be commended for that, because there's so many people waiting tables right now in L.A., bartending in L.A. I mean, I deal with this all the time. If you would go back and research all the interviews I've had with different people that are up-and-comers that are kind of making it, but yet they're working other gigs. And the ones that are full-time just stay the course, and you stay the course. And then you found your gift and saying, I could teach as well, I could produce as well. Where do you think you're going to get your biggest break, Dwayne? Where do you think we're going to finally say, when we see Dwayne Boyd on, I guess, with an Emmy or an Oscar or something, do you see that someday happening for you, especially when you're behind the scenes in so many other ways and also coaching?
That's a good question there. I tell you, for me, I'm just open to whatever's coming. I tell you, man, I'm open to whatever opportunity presents itself, whatever comes my way. I'm for it because we can have an idea of what it is we want, and that's great. Nothing wrong with it. You got to have goals, and you got to have a vision where you want to go. But what I see now is the sky's the limit. Truly, you really have you have to have open eyes with this, because we can have a limited understanding of what it is we want to achieve, and there can be so much more on the horizon, and you don't even know it. So I'm ready. I'm open. I'm ready for the Oscar. I'm ready to produce. I'm ready to, direct more. I'm ready to just do it all and just have a great time doing it because I love what I do.
Well, I think I can tell you definitely do, and I can see it's a complete love and a passion in everything you do, Dwayne. And where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you? I kind of put that whole aspiration out there, but let's just see. A lot of people this is your art. You don't say, oh, by the way, okay, I want to have this big role. No, you have a certain different idea when it comes to art. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
10 years, I see my production company doing really well, and I'm producing the films I want to produce, and just I have a great support system, a team in place like I do now, but we've grown even bigger, and I just see it's really making a real dent in the business when it comes to putting out content, quality content. I'm a fan of great writing, great films, great TV shows, and that kind of stuff that I want to be able to. I want to be able to work all the time in this business, and sometimes that even means going more behind the camera. And I'm totally fine with that. But I enjoy acting when I get the opportunity, and I'm blessed with the opportunity to do it. I take it and run with it, but at the end of the day, I think we have to be creators of our own content. I work with Robert Townsend very early in my career. He instilled that in my head that we have to be producers of our own content because you can't sit by the phone and wait for someone to call all the time.
No, definitely. All right, so Dwayne, where can we find information on you, learn more about you, watch, I guess, your movies, all the different things that you do, Dwayne, your acting if they're in the Atlanta area, or your production company as well? Where's all that info at?
Okay. Yeah, everything's on, I have quite a few sites. I don't remember some of them off here. My main site is Dwayne Boyd, DwayneBoyd.com. It's www.DwayneBoyd.com. Also, I have PremierActorsNetwork.com. That's Premier, ActorsNetwork.com. And you can also look for my production company website, which is 34th and Ashley Productions.com. I'm on Twitter, Facebook under Dwayne Boyd or Dwayne Boyd Acts. And you'll also be able to see me in a new film coming out this February. I think we're premiering at Sundance. It's a movie called Grass Stain. It's a great coming-of-age story. It stars Caitlin Deaver from The Last Man Standing on Tim Allen's show, Ty Sheridan, and Annabeth Gish and Bill Sage. So I'm really excited about Grass Stains and premiering at Sundance.
Oh, well, we'll definitely have to have you back on to talk about it once it premieres on Sundance. Well, we'll stay in touch, man. Twitter's the way we stay in touch. Trust me. You'll see how I tweet out, man. I'll tweet you out every syndicated station it airs on. I appreciate you taking the time, Dwayne, and best of luck to you.
No, thanks for having me, man. Take care now.
All right, take care. All right. You're listening to Total Education Celebrity Show, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment, and we'll be back in just a moment.